Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place to find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Friday, and on Friday we talk tech in English. So we are so excited to be here today. I'm here with my partner and co-host, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. And we're the Biz Chicks. So sit back, relax. It's time for you to join the conversation. We want to give a shout out to the replay gang. We just say, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. And for all of you watching over on YouTube, we want to encourage you to subscribe. And with that, we're going to get Tech Weekly started here. Okay. How's it going, friend?
It's going very well. Hey, Cecilia, and everybody watching and see where are we? Twitter. It's going to be Twitter Live now. It won't be Periscope anymore. It'll be Twitter Live, Facebook, YouTube, and anywhere else. I'm going to turn Twitch back on too.
That's good.
Yeah. So because Twitch is another option.
Oh, Cecilia, I spelled your name wrong. I apologize. How you doing this morning?
And we do have that option. Okay, so this week in tech history. Yes. Hey, Nora, good to see you. I ain't seen you in a while. Happy New Year. Oh, and Happy New Year to everybody, because today is the first Friday of 2021. Yes. And it has been a doozy already. All right.
Your mother would say it's been a doozy. Okay.
This year came in with a bang. Okay. So let's go to some tech history. And January 6, 1838. Yes, I said 1838. Samuel Morse's telegraph system is demonstrated for the first time at the Speedwell Iron Works in Morristown, New Jersey. The telegraph revolutionized long-distance communications, reaching the height of popularity in the 1920s and the 1930s. It was slowly replaced by the telephone, faxing, and email. However, it wasn't until January 2006 that Western Union, perhaps the most famous telegram company, sent its last telegraph. So I'm thinking that was like the text message of the era, because it was typed. This wasn't, it was the written communication coming over the line, where the sheriff, I needed to talk to the other sheriff in another town, and they would use the telegraph machine to get that message delivered.
Yes.
So what do we use now? It was a text message for 1838. It just wasn't we had to go to the telegraph office for them to go did it and send the message. Right. Now we pick up our phone. Hey, Jill, girl, we need you to have you breathe us nationally. Anyway,
yesterday I'm shaking my hands here, Jill.
So now we can text on our own devices. We don't have to go to the telegraph office, because AT&T meant Atlantic Telephone and Telegraph. Telegraph was where you were able to send the message out. And then what happened? It grew. Telephones came into play. So there we have the telephone. And it was backing down slowly. You know what I mean? So the telegraph backed down just a little bit, but then it came back. You used to get a Western Union gram, somebody would send it to you, or bring it to your house or whatever. I think it was used quite a bit in World War I and II. Yeah.
And also you can still receive a MoneyGram by Western Union.
Right. It's not quite the same. It's just like like Cash App. Never mind.
Yes. Only you have to go into the office and pick it up.
And this is where technology has shifted a bit. Everything has become personal, and you can initiate and receive things from you personally now. You don't have to have, you still need to have the system, but you don't need to necessarily depend on going to a telegraph station, or I'm going to go to use the telephone down the
block,
block on the pole or something. It's all within your own personal reach. Computers are now within your own personal reach. Before, people didn't have computers sitting on their desk like we do have right now, or in their hand.
So now what does Superman do? There's no phone booth to check it.
Superman can check his
cell phone.
Text message. Oh wait, and we wouldn't need a bat signal. Batman could get a text. Hey, dude, we need you over here. Let's see. The first 1 megabyte memory chip. January 6, 1984, Hitachi announces it has developed the first memory chip capable of holding 1 megabyte of data. And the author of this post says, how far we have come since then.
We got terabytes.
Okay.
See, this is how small beginnings.
We wouldn't have been here, but without whoever that was, Hitachi having that 1 megabyte chip. Wow, what can we put on that? Can we expand that chip to and they kept getting it bigger, and the chip kept getting smaller and smaller, but the data capabilities kept getting bigger and 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 bigger. Okay. So January 6, 2000, Steve Jobs unveils Mac OS X for the first time, declaring another computing revolution was on its way. It was certainly a revolution for Mac users at the time and has led the way for the resurgence of Apple in the marketplace, as Mac OS X is the basis for the iOS that runs the iPhone, iPod Touch, and iPad. It certainly seems that Mac OS X has revolutionized computing, even in ways Steve Jobs may have not fathomed at the time. And then there was ... or did he? Yes. So the OS system is what we're running on. If you're on a Mac, it's the iOS system. Mac has its own environment. Therefore, it's not that susceptible to stuff happening, because there's not a lot of cooks trying to do stuff in the kitchen,
so they can address issues quickly.
Right. Whereas on PC, TJ talks about this as on a PC, the PC is trying to make stuff for a bunch of different cooks. Does that make sense?
Yes, I would say it this way. It's like Mac is like having one restaurant chain under the same brand, and the others are like independent restaurants. You got this brand and this restaurant, that restaurant.
And the Windows is trying to make their operating system fit for all them different restaurants.
Exactly.
Which is not a good idea. And therefore, something is going to go wrong.
And every restaurant, the chef wants something different, or
so I want to go like this.
I want it to twirl. Okay.
And so we're having things not consistent because people keep trying to tweak the program. So another Apple thing, January 6, 2004, Apple Computer introduces the first variation of the iPod line, the iPod Mini. Remember the little, where you can carry 1,000 songs in your pocket?
My kids had that, yes.
Yes. It says, the iPod Mini began the trend for the Apple to introduce smaller iPods that were often cheaper, but could hold just as many or more songs as the
Mm-hmm.
previous generation larger iPods. As the underlying technology is improved, such as availability of the smaller hard drive in the iPod Mini and eventually affordable flash storage in the future iPod Nano, Apple continued to push iPod technology forward, ensuring that they
Mm-hmm.
remain the dominant force in the digital audio player market. Now the is iPod still a thing? Because I think it is.
I
I
don't know.
because I
I
use my
use my
phone
phone.
and I'm getting all the music and stuff because we have Apple Music now where you
Mhm.
just tap into it with a subscription fee. So I got to look into that
Mhm.
because I never went down the road for the iPod because I'm like, well, why do I need to buy that and this when it
But
has
you
this?
know, a lot of us have some sitting in a drawer somewhere.
And it probably still works.
I'm thinking it does.
Okay, now here's January 7th, 1927.
Mm-hmm.
The first commercial transatlantic phone service was made available to the public. It used radio signals rather than the undersea cable or satellite technology of today. See, remember I kept on making mention that under the sea
Mm-hmm.
is a cable
The underwater cable, yes.
that
Transatlantic
runs our
cable.
yes, and so it runs some of the stuff that we're on are on that cable that's running. We think we're wireless, and it's underneath the cable under the
We are
water.
hardwired somewhere.
Yes, we are hardwired somewhere. This particular thing was made of it used radio signals
Mm-hmm.
instead of satellite technology. So 31 calls were made between New York and London that day. January 7th to 1927. That's how they made it. It was a radio call.
Mm-hmm. Could you imagine being the operator on that uh, groundbreaking call day?
Mhm. I'm going to do one more because I like history. January 8th, 1889. And this is like in the 1800s. They were doing things
Okay.
tech-wise. Herman Hollerith is issued a U.S. patent for his punched card calculator. 7 years later, he starts a company called the Tabulating Machine Company. In 1911, this is one of four companies that merge to form the company that will one day be called IBM.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Texas Instruments. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was like, wow, 1889. You know, they probably thought you was crazy because you wasn't out there with the cows and you weren't. What are you doing fiddling with all that stuff?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All this.
Uh, let's see. January 8th, 1982, the U.S. Department of Justice and AT&T finalized a settlement under which AT&T agrees to divest itself of 22 subdivisions to take effect January 1, 1984. They agreed to break up. Then they all came back together as something else. They're back, right?
We got the big 2 or 3.
And my last story, January 8th, 1994, Russian cosmonaut Valery Polyakov on Su-TM-18 leaves for Mir. He would stay on the space station until March 22nd, 1995, for a record 437 days in space.
Wow. Wow.
I'm staying on the planet, people.
Look, I'm running out of content as it is. You know, if I'm up in space, I'm going to be bored.
Yeah, because it's like, what are you? You're in space and you're confined in space. You can't.
How much is it to do? There's nobody to talk to. I mean, really?
Well, and then now a bunch of people go up there. That's different, but it's Mir. Mir is, I guess, a space station, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a Soviet space station.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nah, I'm good. I'm sorry, I'm not trying. I'm supposed to be where the oxygen is, right? Because
Okay.
that's where we. Okay.
Okay. Alrighty, Daddy.
So that's your week in tech history.
Okay. All
What
right.
news do you have for us, Terry? Let TJ have the social, because I'm like, woo.
Okay.
Oh, you were going to talk about the headphones.
No, I wasn't going to talk about, but we can mention them.
Yes, because there's the new headphones that are out.
Yeah, I read an article about the new Apple headphones. They have a setting called transparent, and you can hear what's going on across the room. Okay. In other words, you can hear other people's conversations in the room. It's sort of like, I guess, turning up your hearing aid. You can just hear everything. So, guys, be aware when you're in the coffee shop, which people may have on their mufflers, but they may be able to hear everything you're saying about their shoes or what they got on. Or it can get real ugly.
I also read some bad news about the Apple Pro Max. That's the name of them, right? That they fit over the ear, so people are sweating, and the moisture is getting inside of the condensers inside, and it's shorting them out, and people are returning them. They're mad because they spent $550.
$500 some. Yeah, these are
the sweat from because it's over the ear. So whenever you have over the ear headphones, there you have them on for a while. The sweat from being covered up,
the ring of sweat,
right from your ear. So it's going inside of the ear cup part, and from what I heard, there's aluminum in there. And it's shorting out the phones.
Oh my gosh! For $500, I'd be upset too.
So I heard that people returning them.
So apparently, nobody tested it for people using them for workouts and stuff.
Workout, but also because I have several different types of over the ear, and I can't wear them long because it makes sure it's wet just from being covered, and that's right. The heat from having them on, so it's not as exercising. It's just if I'm watching like Apple, because I'll put them on with Apple TV, and I want to have some privacy and hear it directly. I have to take them off after a while because of the sweat,
the water. Just say what it is. Water running down.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's just uncomfortable. So that little bit of moisture got into the ear cups. So
yeah, now see with my Beats, I wear them a long time, and I can't recall. You do, but they do get uncomfortable after a while.
Yes, they get uncomfortable, right? And there's a little bit of sweat on your ear,
and you get a little air under there, and then you put them back on to continue listening. Right. But I don't think I've ever had them where they
shorted out,
got wet, and not ever shorted out. So,
but it's not like water. It's just that small amount.
Moisture.
It can't handle that moisture.
But see, and I don't understand why somebody didn't check that, because even the AirPods handle moisture. The Beats handle moisture. So somebody
it's not their first time making headphones. So
somebody dropped the ball.
Yeah, and probably a rush to get it out for the holidays.
But they'll refine it and put it out, and everybody will be happy. But they're still making fun of the case. They're still making fun of the case and saying it looks like a purse or a bra. And okay.
Okay. Now people are going to wonder, what does it really look like? I wasn't interested because I wasn't ready for $500, and I already have AirPods that I like, and I have the Beats that I like. I'm good.
Yeah.
And I don't. What was the $500? What did they do better? The sound was better.
A bigger surface area on your ear versus the AirPod earpod. I guess
it's supposed to be more comfortable, or I don't know.
I think it's supposed to be better music experience, but the Beats were good music. My Beats are great. They're plastic,
right?
and I've broken the thing, and I got to tape it up. But
Still
the
working?
quality, it what is it? Makes it soundproof. What is it? Noise canceling? So my beats cancel out noise, and I can literally not hear things. And I could put them. I put the beats on. I can't put my beats on transparency, but I can put my AirPods in transparency mode.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway,
Right.
I just think that somebody forgot to do a checkbox.
Hey, Doc.
Hello.
You know, somebody forgot to check a box. You know, like, did we check it for moisture? No, you didn't.
For moisture.
Wow.
I mean, and because somebody gonna run in it.
Right.
Or get on their bike, okay. But plus they just launched an app over there on Apple for exercise, right? So it's reasonable.
Yes. Okay.
Headphones, yes.
Now, do we want to dive down that road for a minute? Because I've used the Apple Fit with my watch.
I have to.
Right. The only thing I could say now, I like the people are always happy and smiling.
Too happy.
I know, they're like, and come on. Aren't we doing well? I'm like, dude, seriously, I am trying to ride this bike. And
I done the same thing.
I was like,
why are you so happy? This is hard.
It felt like Stepford or something. I was like, why is everybody
smiling? Yeah. They're all smiling, like, you can do this. I'm like, no, I can't. Shut up. Shut up.
Oh my goodness. And maybe that was part of the test. People talking back to the app. Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've done the dance part of it because I don't have an exercise bike. But I do the dance. They have the dance routine.
I like the dance.
And one lady, I think her name is LaShawn. She's really good, but I'm like, okay, LaShawn, I gotta work up to your style.
Right.
She's just going and doing the real. I'm like, but it's fun. It's fun.
It really is.
It's fun.
I like
that's a part of it. You
I like
who?
John, the Latin dude.
Yes, I love his. Oh yeah.
Because he's good. He said, listen to my voice and follow and he tells you where you're gonna go. The other people, I was like,
it's LaShawn and Ben. LaShawn is like, let's do it. And she just goes, she's such a good dancer that she goes into it thinking that the steps. And I'm like, wait a minute, LaShawn. And I'm talking to her. I'm like, LaShawn, come on.
Wait now, LaShawn.
Be like, hold on.
I like the dance. I like all the dances, but I'm like, John is the easiest to follow.
Okay.
I do him, and I'm like, I got to work up to the other two.
Yeah, and he has a little Latin beat.
Yeah, the Latin things, and it's easy.
Yeah, and it was really easy. And I was like, yeah. And you get a workout. You see your heart rate go up and all of that. And I'm like, oh, close.
And the HIIT, high intensity.
Yes, high intensity
training. I tried one. There's a lady from England with the accent. And I'm like, she's cute and all, but I'm like, you guys, give me a chance. I got to work up to you.
Wow.
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead,
Jackie.
Well, the thing as a dancer, for me anyway, everybody has a different style. I like to be challenged because that really helps you develop muscle memory and your chops. So if there's something that at a level, it's the same thing with, working out. If you keep using 5-pound weights, but you're capable of 10 or 15, you don't really advance or progress. So the thing with, being at a level, it's good that she's challenging you because you get a better workout when you're challenged.
Right. I'm not complaining about her style. I have to work up with her. That's why Fran was saying there's different levels of dancers. So John is like the easiest of the three. So we start with him, and then, like you said, we're gonna work. I'm gonna work my way up to LaShawn. Me and LaShawn I'm gonna be step with her in a minute.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it when I was doing the workout, I was like, wait, 1, 2, 3. I'm like, I know how to dance. What is this? And my coordination is completely off.
I agree 100% with that, friend. I'm in the same boat. So I figured out I like John and I'm sticking with him for a while, and then I'm gonna move up to LaShawn. But it's
Right.
good. The Apple Fitness is good. There's the gamification because you see the rings on the screen, and when you close a ring, it's like a firework, and you get really excited. So there's gamification in it, which
Oh,
keeps
good.
you
That's
it
awesome.
keeps you going. It keeps you
Right.
going. There's an excitement to that. So
And it was, and it wasn't just cycling and hit training
the
and
yoga.
yeah, okay. See, and
Rowing.
yoga, people need to slow down with yoga because I have another app that came with my bike, and they're like, okay, and we're going to do this. I'm like, hold on a minute, I haven't even got to go down for downward dog. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm barely, because when you go to downward dog, they think that's just easy. I'm like, you gotta have some upper body strength to do that. And it's not
like they
easy.
assume that you know how. I mean, some people do and some people don't. So have like a little onboarding. Say these are the basic yoga moves. These are the basic dance steps that we're gonna do. This is the basic thing, and then they feel so. There's like a little gap there, but it's good.
Yes, I was like, hold on, I've not been here before.
Right.
And then I like live classes. They don't have live yet.
No.
So when I want live, I got to go to my other program. But if I miss my live program, I can come over here to the app and I can track it.
They need a live section.
They do. They really need live.
Live is so engaging. So I could see. What I have a question. What are there? So what are the costs for Apple Fit?
I don't know. Is it separate? Because we got the whole app. There's the Apple package. I forgot the name of it.
I'll look it up right now.
You get music. You get
Apple
news.
One.
Yes, that's
right. So you did Apple One. Okay.
It's a package. Like you pay. I think it's $29
for Apple One.
And you get all of.
I'm gonna look it up here, but you get all the magazines.
They have different levels.
Yeah, so you
but the Apple Fitness, you have to get the I think the $29 one a month, which is I think it's almost.
I think you can. Let me see.
They might break it out. It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense for them to break it out if it's.
I think you can get Apple. Okay, so Premiere comes with music, Apple TV Plus, arcade, iCloud storage. You get 2 terabyte, and you get
that's a lot.
Yeah, and you get news, all the magazines and stuff, and then you get Apple Fit.
Right.
And you can choose individual services. So Apple Fitness is only $9.99 a month.
Okay, so if you did that on your own, what's going to be the kicker is when they actually get some live classes. I think there will be an uptick, especially because of the pandemic. Yeah, they're
starting off slow. It's starting off slow because there wasn't a whole like rainbow exercises. They have several, and then I noticed every week there's a new routine or a new thing to follow. So I think they're building it, like adding on.
Interesting.
So if you were to buy all of those individually, it would be $54.94 a month. And so Apple One allows you to buy them for $29.95.
Right.
So the question is then, I guess anybody who's looking at that has to decide, is it worth it? Because even though it is $29.99, if all you're going to do is use the Apple Fit, is that worth it? For you, if you're not storing things, so I guess it's a decision you have to make.
Right, because the Fit is only $10 a month. I would do the Fit at $10 a month.
Right.
If I didn't, but I do use the music, the terabytes, and the arcade. Yes, I do. I play Pac-Man and I play what is the
Nobody
other
was
thing?
judging.
I haven't had a chance to look at. I haven't looked at arcade yet.
Mark says
puzzles and stuff on there too. So
Mark is releasing an app called Couch Fit. Exercises from the couch. In the premium version, we walk to the kitchen. Okay.
Wow. Wow, Mark.
Sitting is the new smoking. That's a problem.
It is. And remember remember the story that I shared in terms of what in XYZ years evolution would do to people who sit on the couch?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
It wasn't good. You turned into a blob.
We were talking. I think we brought up the movie Wall-E.
Yes,
too. Yeah.
Yes, we did. We did.
Yeah, we brought up Wall-E.
Right. And I can, because yesterday I was sitting and doing quite a bit of work on the computer. And then that's why I like the Apple Watch. It'll remind you, hey, you need to get up and go, or else, because you could get in here and get engrossed in a project and just sit and sit and sit and sit and sit.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized, I was like, ooh, I feel like I'm spreading out, like becoming the blob. I felt like, oh my God, I need to get out of this chair. And then I got up and got on the bike. I said, I have got to get on the bike. I cannot just sit here. I was doing quite a bit of stuff.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess it's like, to remind yourself to have that reminder is very helpful. I mean, it's kind of like some people have those reminders to kind of drink water. So
get up.
It's the same thing.
I watch my neighbor. He works from home, and you see him get up and walk. He walks by the house. I'm like, I should do what he does, because he literally works from home, but he gets out and he walks around the block or does something. And I was like, maybe I should take a page from his book and not just be in the house.
Sedentary,
sitting. Jill said, check yesterday's Biz Chicks show. She showed easy movements to do while sitting. Thank you, Jill. I'm gonna have to go look.
That's awesome. And I tore my ACL 5 years. Now it's almost 6 years ago, and I would, gym rat. Okay, I was there every day, sometimes twice a day. So I was like, what am I gonna do now? So that's when I scanned YouTube and I found some chair exercises so that I could keep, because I couldn't stand, but I could do chair stuff. So that's a great thing to have, sitting exercises.
Yes.
Yes. And PBS has Sit and Be Fit.
Yes.
No, is that so? Hey, Mark, the couch fit thing is not a bad idea. It depends on what kind of couch you got, because some couches swallow you up.
They really do. Those are the worst kind.
You trying to get out the couch.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
So anyway,
you might have something there with that title too, Mark.
Yeah, Couch Fit, Mark. You might be able to start something, and we'll watch. Just getting out the couch.
We'll do it.
Exercise.
Exactly.
Stop being a couch potato.
Get couch fit.
Get couch fit. Look at you. See, we've already come up with a tagline for you.
Come on, Mark. Put that out there. I think it's a thing. Because nobody has done, we got chair exercises. Nobody's done couch exercises. You could actually do leg lifts while you're
exactly. You could do some dips off the end of the couch.
Yep. I just love things that challenge my arms. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, the dips, I have to work up on the dips. Anyway.
Okay.
I guess.
What is our next story, ladies?
I'm going to let Dr. Tachi, you want to go ahead with media and what's happening with media?
I can't. What is it happening with media?
Okay. Go ahead. Yes. Oh my gosh.
So the thing is, the overwhelming majority of things that our media have to do with a coup.
With the coup? Is that what you said?
Well, there's no other way to put it. So of course and I don't know if TJ, you've got that same thing in terms of like with Facebook and Twitter and that type of thing.
She's gonna bring that in. So I don't know when she gets back in. So anyway.
Oh, okay. Well. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I wasn't even looking at the screen. That's why I didn't realize she was gone. Okay, because I'm looking at the camera. So yeah, all right, no worries. Let me talk about this. So because we have been, is there such a thing as belaboring it? It happened, but I don't want to belabor the point too much. But I'll talk about some of these things from a media perspective, and then what's happening.
The impact on
the impact, yeah, not necessarily the actual, because we already know it was a coup. So
with the incident,
so let's talk. Yeah, coup.
So,
just okay.
It was absolutely an attempted and failed coup.
Yeah, there you go.
So let's talk about what this was. This was field day for the news agencies and the different news different stations, different channels, different networks. Field day for them. So CNN had the most watched day ever. Okay, ever, because of this insurrection coverage or this coup coverage.
Wow.
So they flocked to CNN in record numbers. And I guess CNN has, despite what people say, XYZ, they still really have a trusted voice when it comes to reporting the news nationally and internationally. So CNN had the most watched day ever in their history. And so more than 28.8 million people watch daytime coverage across 5 networks, led by CNN with 8.9 million, followed by Fox News with 5.74 million. MSNBC had 5.59 million, ABC had 4.84 million, and CBS trailed with 3.7 million. And in prime time, an estimated 33.39 million watched across 6 networks.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of people. That is right. And that's obviously because of an event. That is not normal for news in terms of news numbers. That's not normal. You don't get this many people watching. But obviously when it's an event of this magnitude, absolutely. We've never experienced anything like this. This is something cool. These are things that you see happening in other countries that have a history of dictatorships and authoritarian governments.
Yes.
So this is, you can say what you want. For the most part, this country has been very democratic in terms of, with here or there. But this is the first time there's actually somebody that has authoritarian and dictatorship goals in office. And this played out yesterday. So, of course, it was going to be big news. So that's one thing. CNN led the pack, and this was their most watched day ever.
Wow.
Ever. Yeah. That's
significant.
Big. Exactly.
CNN, so basically what you're saying is people still tune in. Okay, what happened? They went to CNN because CNN is the one. It's like, okay, if I got to go somewhere, let me go.
This is the voice that I trust the
most. This is the recognized place. Not they may not trust it, but they're going to go to find out what's going on because they have been there for other events and things.
Absolutely. CNN has brand recognition. And see, this is interesting because even it's brand recognition. My father, when he was still alive and lived in Nigeria, the big thing, what did people do when they wanted to find out what was happening in the US? CNN. The cable networks or whatever carried what? CNN. So this was obviously like back in the 90s and early 2000s, but it's still a major voice from around the world. Another place to go, for that type of thing is BBC.
Right.
To get that kind of reporting. But Americans tend to go to CNN before they go to BBC. I tend to go to both. I look at BBC because I love the international perspective. And then
I go there first.
First to BBC. Exactly. But then I'll look at CNN.
Yeah. Right.
Absolutely.
Like I was telling Terry, I was working at home and I'm working on real estate stuff, and the loan officer that I'm with, she said, so what do you think about the da-da-da? I'm like, what are you talking about? She said, girl, you ain't heard? I was like, I was clueless.
I was out of the
I was too.
She said, like, do you not know
going off? Yeah.
Do you not know what's going on? I'm like, no. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was because I lived in DC for 9 years, so I got a text message from like two of my old roommates, and she was like, "Girl, your people are over there cutting up in DC." I was like, "Who people doing what?" And I was okay. So you have to understand, from somebody who was there for September 11th, and I was driving over the bridge from Virginia when when the Pentagon was attacked. So I saw the black smoke and wasn't aware. I was there during the DC sniper and hunkering down so I wouldn't get shot. So to me, that was business as usual. So when they were cutting out, I was like, okay, what happened now in DC? Not realizing that this is what was happening.
Yes, because it's so far out of our even consideration of reality at the time.
Exactly.
No longer, but
exactly.
It sounded like, okay, you remember the movie? What is it? Gerard, whatever his name is.
Gerard.
Olympus Has Fallen.
Oh, okay.
Come on, you know what I'm talking about. Angel has fallen, Olympus has fallen, blah blah blah.
Something, yeah.
It where people. I'm like, come on, y'all, really? You're trying to. It flashed like a movie moment.
It was very strange.
It was really what? Very incomprehensible. I'm like,
well, that's a good word. Yeah. So tell us more about how this
affected the media
is going now.
Well, yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about the effects of this. There's fallout now for several other people that I don't know if you read this morning. I read on LinkedIn that there are, heads of these companies that are condemning this and are also, putting out there, okay, well, we're not going to, fund or donate to the Republican Party until you all fix it.
Trying to
So this was on LinkedIn
from this event.
Absolutely, because this is like it's the same thing with advertisers not wanting to put their programming next to questionable content, and because then you become associated with it.
Yes, this is why it's relevant to our program, because we're talking about business, and you don't want your business connected with certain memory events. It's all about your branding. So I'm going to put us on a different view, because I'm sure Terry's got something she wants to say about this. Oh my gosh. Let's try this view right here. Terry, you may want to wade in here.
Oh, I was on mute. Sorry.
Okay. I didn't know we wanted to wade in before we, while we're on this topic, because we had
I thought we were doing media.
We are doing media.
Okay.
You have more for us, Tachi? Yes.
I do.
Okay, hold on. I got you.
No worries. But I don't know if Terry, you had something to weigh in what we were talking about. I'm sure you heard is CNN was #1 news coverage for this thing. So feel free to weigh in if you'd like to.
Go ahead.
Okay, so go ahead.
My thoughts. I'm not surprised that CNN got such a big boost, because it was the story exploded everywhere. I mean, it was just they're still talking about it. It's such unprecedented happenings for the United States of America. So I would think that yes, everybody goes to CNN, even though they like to talk about CNN being this thing that they hate, but they still go to it because you want to know the news. I go to Twitter. That's just me. But I was watching CNN because I like to watch different perspectives. So I watch bunch of different. I even go to Al Jazeera on the website, and like you were saying, BBC. I try to hit them all the big ones to see. I don't know. There's no words. There's no words, and they banned who. Facebook and Instagram banned him forever. Well, not forever, indefinitely.
Definitely end of his term.
Right. And then Twitter banned him for 12 hours until he removed his tweets. They let him back on. But it's just unheard of. The Capitol hadn't been breached since 1812, they said. So this is big. And it was big everywhere.
And that was by a foreign country. That was by
Right. So
and they didn't get to the Capitol.
Right. But you know what? I'm interested. I would love to see the demo for that, like the age groups, because I was reading something today about Gen Z. They get their news from online, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So they got their stuff from online, and then they were saying a certain age group, I'm not sure the number, that they go to, you know, they got their news from CNN, which is, I expected that's the way it should go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be contingent upon the behaviors of an age group,
Right.
where they go. So,
Right.
you know, definitely. And you know, the interesting thing is I was looking at Instagram, and
Yeah.
of course, ad nauseum, there was all this
Yeah.
information
Because there was
forward.
some clowning going on over there.
Oh my God! Look, that was a circus, an interesting circus. Because and this is the other interesting thing. Some of the memes that have come out of this whole thing, that even though this is such a serious thing, there have been some. The internet has been. Sometimes I hate you, internet, but I love you at the same time.
Because it's
Right.
so insane.
So they're saying that black Twitter is a thing. So that section of Twitter was having a field day with the memes. I saw a lot of, you know, sitting back and laughing kind of thing. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Down to the fact of I don't know if you've seen this one that's going around. It's like I have the 7-day trial, and I'm no longer interested of 2021, and I'm no longer interested. I'd like to cancel my subscription. Okay.
I saw that big.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you want to know the latest memes and things, it's Instagram and Twitter. Definitely.
Absolutely.
They will replicate over to Facebook and stuff, but go to Twitter, go to Instagram, you'll get all the latest memes on the latest
internet
topic.
one with that one. And so, you know, speaking of that, still kind of looking at the news and the effects and the fallout. So let me go with a news story first. Those of you that watch Morning Joe with Joe Scarborough.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So, and you know, Joe Scarborough is Republican, right? And so
he was hot. Wasn't he?
he was hot, and that's the story. He slammed the Capitol Police behavior. He said, "You open the effing doors for them."
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he's not the only one, but obviously he was really upset. A lot of people are really upset, but you know, and Morning Joe was an opinion show, so or informed opinion, right? So
right.
You expect that kind of thing from them, but I'm sure it's been very difficult for news media to remain impartial when it's something that affects them also personally, right? It's really difficult. So I've been interested to see the handling of the reporting throughout this entire thing. And, you know, I have to say that the news media has been doing a good job of covering it. What can you do, you know, in certain instances? But what's going to be more interesting is the analysis of this. That's what I'm interested in seeing, which is already starting to happen.
Yep. Yes,
we had that.
They're breaking it down every day.
They're breaking it down every day, and more unfolds every day because we're not done. We don't know everything. There is more to be seen and heard.
Well, they say
in coming years.
And they tell us there's more to come, right?
The
message left was there's more to come. So
absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about how this is affecting some other people. So Simon & Schuster has actually canceled plans for Senator Hawley's book. They said Thursday that they're going to cancel the publication of an upcoming book by Senator Josh Hawley. He's one of the several members, for those of you who don't know, one of the members of Congress who tried to overturn the results of the presidential election.
Right. I believe he was the leader of the
he was the leader of the so basically you're the leader of the insurrection as well.
Okay, wait. So he's inside.
Yeah.
In inviting all of this madness.
Right. So he's the leader of the part where the Congress I don't know if it was just Republican or whatever, but he was the leader of the call to stop the Electoral College votes from being certified.
Yes.
From the inside.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He was
to
going
object
on the inside.
To object and question whether or not certain
to stop the
votes would be
certification.
certified.
Yeah.
And if they didn't have enough votes certified, then it would overturn the election to Trump. So
Right. They were trying to stop it.
And he was in the chamber.
So he called the publisher's decision Orwellian, and he accused them of trying to censor him. He said this, "Let me be clear. This is not just a contract dispute. It's a direct assault on the First Amendment." Oh, now you like the First Amendment. "Only approved speech can now be published. We'll see you in court," which it's his house. It's their house. It is Simon & Schuster's house. They reserve the right to cancel anybody at any time. It is not a public right for you to have your book published by a for-profit private company. Okay, please spend your time on that.
This is my pet peeve when people say censorship. They don't understand what they're saying. When they talk about censorship, they're talking about the way it's written in the Constitution, in our government, is that the government cannot suppress your voice. The government cannot, but a private entity can do whatever they like because they're a private entity. So if this publisher decides they don't want to publish your book because of public opinion and society, the backlash from society, that's not censorship. That's not censorship.
If Simon & Schuster went ahead and go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. It would be a bad business move to be associated with your brand. And they're saying, see, here's the thing about America. We will pay you to go away. We got enough money, we just pay you to go away.
You have the right to say what you have the right to say what you want to say, as long as it doesn't injure a crowd or whatever, but you have to be ready for the consequences.
Oh, as long as it doesn't incite a riot.
Look at that. Look at that.
Look at our scholar TJ over here. Absolutely.
Look at that.
Absolutely.
Fire in a crowded theater. It's a problem.
It makes my skin crawl when I hear people online saying, "Oh, YouTube is censoring me. Oh, this is censoring me." No. It has to do with the government suppressing your voice, and they're not doing that.
You are there at the pleasure of the company.
You're free to say whatever you like, but when you go on when you sign up for YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, you have to agree to the terms of service.
Terms of service,
terms of engagement, whatever the rules that they say. You cannot do X, Y, Z. That's not censorship. You agree to it when you sign up for your YouTube, for your Facebook, for your Twitter, for your Instagram, for your whatever online.
You said okay. And but here's the thing. So he's like, we'll see you in court. Fine. So the book was actually going to be. I'm sure they're like, bring it then.
Yeah, bring it. We got to
come on, Cletus. Come on. I'm sure they're like that. So it's going to be. It was supposed to be a 320-page book called "The Tyranny of Big Tech," and it was supposed to be released on June 22nd. So they're challenging. He was challenging companies like Facebook, Twitter, and Google, and that's actually been the hallmark of his career as Missouri's Attorney General and now as senator. So
how old is he?
I don't know, but he can't be any more than in his 50s.
Yeah, he's young. This is a younger Senate, a younger representative than the others. He's not 70, 80.
No, he can't be any more than in his 50s. So he's a younger senator.
Right. He's delusional. Mark has a comment. He says, "I'm being censored by my own brain. It's preventing me from writing the book that no one will agree to publish."
Mark, I cannot with you. I cannot.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
so
goodness.
Really quickly, I'm sorry. Because I know.
No, continue.
Okay, all right. Let's talk. So we're going to continue to see this kind of fallout of deals being lost, of especially media deals, right? Any of these idiots who has a media deal, forget it. Anybody who was on the side of trying to overturn, forget it. I mean, and this is funny. I was on Dr. Vibe's show last night, and we were talking about this, and the whole thing is like, well, what does he do now, or any of these other people? Well, you can't do media, sweetie, anymore, because no one will touch you with a 10-foot pole.
He can go on Newsmax TV.
Right, Newsmax and One America News. Yeah. Right, but I mean, but that's what you have. Right. That is not. And you
The
know, the
third
thing
level.
is,
Mhm.
it's I'm sure for him, it's not the level he wants to be at.
Right.
Mhm.
That's
Exactly.
what he wants is the pinnacle. He doesn't want these fringe things. And
Oh,
so,
really?
Well,
well, he
that's not
wants
his
the fringe
audience.
things.
But that. Thank you,
That's
Terralina.
where his
That's his
audience is, but he wants big.
He was
He
bigger.
wants, he's used to my show was on NBC.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
This is a
He's
bigger
used to
show for
Broadway.
him. He's yes, exactly. So
You know.
that for him would be a demotion.
Yes.
So you know, we're going to start to see
You don't
all
want to
of
go
this
off
fallout.
Broadway. You want Broadway.
Exactly,
You go to life.
exactly.
You don't want
And
off.
some little,
Yeah.
But he
some
took
little
it
high
to
school auditorium.
he took it to the alley. He took it past off Broadway to the alley. You did
Yeah, he
that.
went in the alley between the theater, between the Schubert and he went in the alley. So
Exactly.
alley cat.
Wow.
But see, I really
With
want to
only
point
the
out real
raps.
quick. I want to point out real quick that
Mhm.
these people like him, they have to realize the pendulum swings both ways. You had your time for 4 years. Now it's time for you to hit the door. We don't want to hear what you have to say. The majority of society, those of Americans, don't want to hear what you have to say. So you got to go to the back alley, the little corner soapbox or wherever, and have fun.
Well, and you might want to be careful back there because I'm sure after today there's going to be some monitoring.
Oh yeah.
This is why
people spaces.
this is why your reputation management. Remember,
Yeah. Mhm.
what's her name? Q. She
Mhm.
talked about reputation management
Yes.
years ago. I'm
Brand
online,
reputation management. Yes, she did.
and you can't hang out with everybody and maintain your reputation. That we learned that at school. You can't hang with them kids if you
You
Who
learned
you
that
hang
at
with?
home. I keep telling you there is no substitute for good home training.
None.
I can't.
Mama
None.
said don't hang out with so and so.
you
All
don't
right,
want
let's-
them to hang with.
I think Tati has some more. So let's
Yes, please.
Hold
Tell
on.
more.
No,
Sorry,
but point well taken. So some more fallout that has happened from this Shopify, and even though this is more on the tech side, it still has a lot to do with his media persona. Shopify has permanently banned all of his official online stores. So
you can't buy any merch. Is that what you're saying?
not from him.
Yeah, not with him. He has two.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, online storefronts with official merch. They've shut them down.
Oh,
So we're seeing this fallout happen all over. How long these things are going to personally, in terms of social media, I think he needs to be permanently banned.
I
All this little,
you may see this.
Okay, so I just want to be
too long.
Are we talking about the gentleman that was trying to write the book, or are we talking about
we're talking about
45.
I'm sorry,
45?
Cheeto Satan. Yes. So his merch. I'm sorry, I should have clarified that. So, his merch, you cannot buy official Cheeto Satan merch on his Shopify stores anymore because he is banned. I don't know for how long.
Mhm.
Or if it's indefinitely, but I'm sure Shopify won't miss whatever little money they're making.
Okay, they're just done. Okay,
right, because they've got other people that
They
are
got
on
bigger
it.
fish.
All right, they got bigger fish to fry.
They'll be
So
fine.
also, finally, let's talk about some things that are happening on the Netflix and Amazon front.
Okay.
Or sorry, Disney Plus. I didn't mean to say that. So Netflix has rolled out UK price hikes. Yeah, we're not alone to existing subscribers. So they came in Canada and the US first, and now they're rolling out price hikes to existing UK customers. So they're going up from £8. Do you say £8.99? Do they still say
I
that?
have no idea.
£8.99.
Okay.
So it's going up from $8.99 to $9.99, which is about $12.22 up to $13 and 58 cents respectively. That is for the standard plan. The premium plan is going up to £13.99, and the basic plan though is remaining the same at £5.99, £5.99, however you say that. So they're experiencing price hikes as well. Disney Plus is launching in Singapore, following a deal with StarHub. So StarHub is a provider, a content provider in Singapore, a local cable provider. And in February 23rd of this year, they are going to launch Disney Plus in Singapore. So if you're in Singapore and you've been pining for some Disney Plus, never fear. February 23rd is your day. And that's what I have, because, you know, a lot of the news is all centered around insurrection.
The wonderfulness, which we're about to hear about from TJ. Okay, let's get TJ in the front. Thank you so much, Taji.
Yeah, thank you.
Before we jump in with TJ, here's one of the things that's a fallout that you notice that we're not talking about COVID-19.
Yes.
Yeah, all of a sudden,
it just
taking a backseat.
Not for long. Not for long, because you notice none of the coup masterminds had masks on. So very
Most
soon.
of them did not. Several of them did.
Very soon.
Just like there were several faces that looked like me, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Are you lost?" What's
I saw that. That was interesting.
And they're rounding them
is
up.
real.
Okay, and they are using. Oh, because this TJ might be touching over on your area, but they're using Facebook, Twitter, Instagram to go after everybody.
Yeah, I'll touch on that. So
okay.
All right, so
you've been so patient. Go ahead, Terry.
In social media news this week, what a week it blew up. So we're talking about the insurrection, the coup, what have you, but what's going on Twitter is that I saw several threads where they're naming and shaming. They're putting up all the photos and videos of the insurgents, or whatever we're calling them, the terrorists, and they're naming and shaming, and lots of people are losing their jobs. I saw one person, they pointed out a lawyer, another person had his work lanyard on, and they zoomed in on the photo. Good. Yeah, they found out where he worked. He got fired. It was on social. So everything is on social media now, on Twitter and maybe on Instagram. I haven't looked there, but Twitter's my main gig when I'm talking about the news.
Yeah, so and there was one recently elected politician.
Yes.
So they're not waiting for the FBI. They're like, listen, the FBI needs help. The Twitter investigators are going to start. So I saw several threads where they're like, do you know this person? Name them. Even USA Today, the newspaper, is in on it. They put photos on their website saying, if you know these people, let us know.
Well, the FBI has a call-in number, right?
USA Today, yes, they have a call. I think they have an email, a call-in number, whatever. I saw today. They're saying, if you know anyone in these photos, please let us know. So you will be you can be anonymous.
So here's the thing: we had what is it? Personal journalism. What is that? The private
citizen journalism.
Okay, so now we're doing citizen arrest. They're like, they're doing the wanted poster, social media style. They're like, look, we don't want to be associated with that, and we need somebody. We need to help the police or help whoever.
Yeah, the more the merrier. They're looking at it as, this is going to be a big job. We're going to get some help.
I'm so glad that this is getting categorized correctly, because these people are also intimidating individual citizens. They are intimidating lawmakers. Their families are at home, and they're over there harassing their kids while they're in DC trying to make laws. It's bad. So,
I don't understand why a lot of these people live streamed their insurgency or whatever you want to call it.
live
so
streaming
now
your own crime.
So now
Yeah,
people are going back through on Instagram and other places wherever they took photos and live streaming and sending that to the FBI. I've seen that. FBI, I
That's
find this on Instagram. This person was there. Take care of it. So you have USA Today. You have private people, citizens on Twitter. You have people looking for content that was recorded that day. So I'm thinking, why did you think because I have a phone and this is like a free for all that you're not going to get caught later because you use technology, boo? We got face recognition software.
I have no idea. You know what? I think that when you're in a mob, you get that mob mentality and you think you're right.
They got whipped up but they're wrong. Why would you record? You're actually recording yourself committing a crime. The person that was in Nancy Pelosi's office, putting his feet up, going through papers, going through legal government papers.
That's a threatening note.
I hope that they get in there and they papers were strewn all over the place, so they really destroyed. So now here's the thing. Sensitive stuff. So now what's going to happen is now, number one, we're all going to have to pay for this because they need to fix this all back right. There was damage done. Our taxes. We're paying for this now because you wanted to sit there and have a good time. Okay, so now we're paying for this. But number two, Nancy Pelosi, I will send you some sage. I need you to sage your office well.
She needs that machine that they use to clean the air
Clorox,
for COVID. She needs one of those.
Yes,
she needs one of those. But I mean,
I would ask them, get me a new office.
Absolutely.
I would ask them to secure the building.
I'm just saying, put me in another office.
Well, wherever she goes, her door sign's going to be up. So
she should have the biggest one because she's the Speaker of the House.
What I meant was, instead of trying to clean all of that environment up, put me in a different office. Not for my safety, I'm not worried about that.
Okay,
but whatever they did,
that whole building has to be sanitized because it's been run through.
Just put a tent over
There's not a surface. There's not nothing that hasn't been touched. You know what I'm saying to you?
Well, aside from touching,
just put a tent over the Capitol, set off a bug bomb.
Yes,
COVID.
They need to tent that whole place. But aside from that, there were also people doing deplorable things like using the bathroom everywhere.
Wow.
So, God.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
In their offices. I mean, they were already in the office, and they have some of them have private bathrooms, so it's like,
no, they
weren't using the bathroom.
No, everywhere.
Defecating? You mean defecating?
Just whatever.
And
everywhere. Yeah, everywhere that wasn't a bathroom.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's real.
That is just nasty.
So I'm going to say,
you said at home training.
Remember 4 years ago, someone said basket of deplorables.
Who said that?
I'll wait.
Wow.
Was she lying?
No, but we knew she wasn't lying. We knew they were deplorable.
I'm just saying, I'm going to leave it at that. Basket of deplorables. All right, let's move on. We're going to move on from the basket.
I can't. That image is just playing through my mind. Please move on.
Yeah, we're going to move on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we got it. No. We need to know.
Yeah, we do need to know. They didn't report that.
Yeah, see, it's all. Someone's going to write several books, and we're going to get all the sorted
details, huh? Oh,
there'll be books. So, all right. So Twitter has news. Twitter has bought the app Breaker. It's a podcasting app where you could go and listen to others people's podcasts, subscribe, and everything like that. So, the question is, why would Twitter want to buy a podcasting app? Anybody know?
Oh, because they want to.
It's for their new thing, Spaces.
Yes, that's it.
So they come to a Clubhouse on Twitter.
Yeah. Twitter has been testing for the last several months Twitter Spaces. They've been testing it to keep what do I want to say? That they want to have the anti-bullying the hate speech. They want to keep that kind of thing away from it. So they're testing it with people's accounts, people who have been bullied a lot on the app. So they're building in tools to protect you, whereas Clubhouse doesn't have those tools to allow you to report hate speech. And I mean, you can report it, but the things I've been hearing about Clubhouse happening to some women especially is sad, that they're being shouted down by men in some of the rooms. And I've heard some of the stories. Women have been saying that, men have been ridiculing them when they get on stage and whatever. And it's sad. So Twitter is doing the slow but sure. Before we release this thing, we're gonna have all of the tools, because we already know from dealing with 45, from dealing with the bullying, the hate speech, the harassment. They're building in tools. So Twitter is saying, hey, we need to have a podcasting app put into Twitter. They're shutting down this breaker, shutting down on January 15th. They're allowing people who have their podcasts there to move them and everything like that. But this is what Twitter is doing. They're going to have the answer to Clubhouse. Now, Clubhouse has 600,000 users so far. They're growing exponentially, but they're not putting in tools to allow you to protect yourself. And that's going to be the downfall.
Wow. Yes.
But not now, because people are, clamoring to get on. All the groups that I go in on Facebook, I've seen post after post after post. Are you on Clubhouse? Do you have Clubhouse? Can I get an invite? Anybody got an invite? I'm like, oh my God, just wait. You'll get in. It's not that big of a deal once you're in there, because there's a lot of conversations happening that I'm like, okay, you can really start a room on anything you want and say anything you want. There's some good stuff in there. They had a Ratatouille, not a revival, but no, that was TikTok. Clubhouse had Lion King. That was it. They had the Lion King. They had the some of the Broadway stars came in and they did a whole Lion King thing inside of Clubhouse. So that's like one of the good things.
They just didn't have any security at the doors. You know what I mean? Security checking for, what is it, metal detectors or something? They needed to have something.
Right. You can report hate speech and whatever that, but it happens. Unless the other people in the room come to your defense, which is what I heard one of the women speak, and she said she went and did a private room with this other lady and tried to help her, because it was about business, she was trying to get advice, and one of the people basically shut her down and just was like, just being disparaging and stuff. So it was discouraging to the woman, and she left and cried and she didn't know what to do. So things like that. I don't see where Clubhouse has a tool to stop that, but Twitter is trying to build the house correctly. So when we join, you can kick people out. Like, oh, you're going to say boop, or probably have built-in rules or words. Somebody says something or does. I don't know what it is exactly, but Twitter is building up their little house. It's going to be released soon. I got a feeling in the next maybe 30 days. We might hear Twitter.
So Clubhouse is like Blab used to be when you first got on Blab, and people just got, and you had to.
It was just a free for all with trolls. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Now, see, most of the rooms I've been in, and I go for business. I'm not into, they have all kind of conversations about everything. I don't go into those things. I look for somebody who's talking about business. Everybody in there is civil. They're respectful. Everybody wants to be helpful. So, but I've heard one or two stories this week where, women have said they have not so pleasant experience, not being called names, but just the condescending words and attitudes towards a woman.
Traditional attitudes toward women.
Yeah, the misogynistic stuff. So Twitter, I'm looking forward to, your spaces. I'm waiting because I want to see because audio we talked about this on Tuesday. Audio is one of the trends. And Gary Vaynerchuk has been talking about audio for a couple
A very
years.
long time. Yes.
Right. And but everybody was thinking podcasting. This is not Clubhouse is not podcasting. It's party talk. It's blab without the video. It's
right.
People talking and having conversations and learning, people trying to be helpful. But on the other hand, on the other end, you have people who are not being helpful. And I hope those people get pushed out, kicked out by the consensus. That's the only way that's going to happen. So Twitter, we're going to see what's going on. We welcome that. Now, Instagram is testing a new carousel look for stories on desktop. All right. So if you've used Instagram on the desktop, you can look at stories. They've changed the look of it on desktop, where you used to see one story and then you had to hit the right arrow or the left arrow to go forward and back. So they're changing it to where it's a carousel. If you've seen carousels, like one image and then focus, and then you see like 2 or 3 others on the side.
Oh,
so
okay.
Like a preview. Right. So you can get like a preview. Now I had a link. Now I'm not going to bring it up. It's going to take me too much. I can post this later on. There's an image that someone took an image of it and show exactly what it's going to look like. The navigation is still the same. You click through, but you get previews of the first 2 stories and the last 2 stories. Okay. What's to come and what you saw. All right. Why are they doing that? I don't know. Just Instagram wants
something different.
Just something different. Here, watch this. So who knows? All right. So Facebook now. Facebook is the Death Star. They are doing things to make people upset. Now, remember, because I don't know where everyone is with the new design, because Facebook forced the new design on us, and then you could switch back and forth. So I don't know if people are still on the old Facebook or the new Facebook, but Facebook Pages has been forced into a new redesign. It's official. They're going to take away the like button for your page. Now, before I've seen a lot of people get upset about that, but let me explain what that is. Facebook has and I've seen this on my page. Facebook has always had a like and a follow. And I was like, why is it 2 different numbers?
Right.
They're moving away from the like. Remember Instagram, we had this deal with Instagram. They don't want to show the likes because they don't want people to feel bad. So they're moving on to having your page focus on the followers. And it's confusing. I wrote down and I followed Mari Smith. If you don't know Mari Smith, she's on Facebook. She's the Facebook marketing expert. If it comes from her, you can pretty much trust it. So excuse me. So the thing is, they're going to take away the like button, but you'll still have followers. The followers will be more important than the likes that you get, because they're phasing out the likes. They're taking away the button, but the likes will still be there. But the like button won't be there. So right. Go ahead.
So now you tell people to follow me on Facebook instead of liking me on Facebook, which means it sounds better, because before it sounded like you were needy. Like me, please. Okay.
Yeah.
It was,
like our page. Yeah.
Yeah. So
follow is better.
Right. So Facebook is saying the new design will focus on followers and not likes. Followers are accepted on a more realistic measurement of how many people a page is reaching.
Mm-hmm.
So the following means that you're seeing the reach. So they're just taking away the like button, but people were getting upset. I'm like, why? Don't get upset. Also, pages will get their own news feed. It allows the page to engage in conversation, follow trends, and interact better with their followers. Now, as a follower, you will start seeing a page's comments on other posts bump to the top of the comments section. They're saying much like it's already happening for verified profiles. Also, Facebook will make it easy for users to follow pages directly from the comments sections on the post. This is all the look and feel and the design. They're also going to give a new Q&A feature. Followers will be able to ask the page questions about a topic. When the page answers, that's you, the owner of the page, there becomes a stack of questions and answers that people can swipe through to learn more about the particular topic. Now, let me talk about this for a minute because I've seen it in groups. There's something new in groups where you can ask a question and it has like a little red question icon on it, and it's not a post, and it kind of stands out from the group post. Has anybody seen that in the groups?
I don't use groups that often.
They're in the groups instead of you can make a post in a group that you're in. It doesn't stand out. But if you ask a question, it says so and so has a question, and then it has a question mark and it has a red icon, and it stands out more, and people answer the question instead of it being a regular post.
Got it.
I've seen that in my groups. Has anybody else seen it? I've seen it, and I'm like, what is this going on? So Facebook is going to put that on your page, and that you can create a Q&A, a FAQ. Like,
frequently asked questions.
Right. When people have a question that is common, like everybody wants to know the answer, if someone asks it, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to pin it to a new Q&A section, which is what they're talking about here.
Okay.
So it stands out. It's like a post, but it stands out. It says so and so it has a question. I think is what the wording is for the post. It's not a regular post in the group. It says so and so has a question. And it stands out because it's like, I'm like, what's going on with that? Why don't they just put a post saying I have a question? But Facebook is making that change. And now it's to make a new Q&A feature. So they're rolling out this design. You may see it, you may not. I've seen some of these things on the groups. So now Mari Smith, I listened to her. She had a live stream yesterday. So she says, these are her clarifications. She says, what happens to page likes when you switch to the new page experience? That's what Facebook is calling it, the page experience. Says if someone likes and follows your classic page, they will continue to be a follower for the new page and add it to your total follower count. If someone likes your classic page but does not follow it, they will not transfer to your new page as a follower. So do we get that one?
Yes, they got to follow in order to be transferred. Yes.
Right.
They got to be on the bus to go to the next location.
Right.
Right.
That's it. So she also says if someone follows your classic page, and classic she means the old style, but does not choose to like it. If they follow your page and they don't like it, they will still transfer to your new page as a follower.
Yeah. Follow us.
Right. Then she says page likes will not be supported on your new page, and page like count will no longer be accessible. That's what Mari said. She's got a post on it.
I think it's an excellent idea because again, it just makes you sound really needy, and you want people to follow you if you have something significant to say.
Right.
Not necessarily like me. Please like me.
Right. And likes are vanity metrics.
Right.
It's not anything substantial.
Right. It's just Facebook making changes.
Because followers can be advertised to.
Yes. Yes. If you like a page, you just like a page. That's a static thing. But if you're a follower, you're following the post, and whenever I post something on my page, my followers will see it because they're followers. But if you just like the page, that's a static thing where you just like it. So that's why they're changing it because of the ads. Exactly.
That's how, because the more followers you have, the better they can serve an ad up to them.
Yes. That's it. Remember, Facebook is all about the ads. That's where their money comes from, the revenue.
Exactly.
Ads.
I like that blue cup, Dottie.
My mother has a thing for mugs, and so
color.
So she sent me this mug. Last Christmas she gave me a mug, so she does good with picking mugs, huh?
Yeah,
I like that. It's very nice.
Yeah.
All right,
thank you.
I got two more things just real quick. So Google is testing a new feature that gathers short form videos from Instagram and TikTok. they're aggregating short form videos from these platforms, and they're showing it in a carousel in the Google app for search when you search on your mobile device. Now, I've seen this and I didn't really pay attention to it, but when you use the Google app on your phone, and the Google app is just this Google search page if you are on the desktop. So there's a search button and there's news stories. Well, within the news stories, they've got a little section on the right. It says stories, and you can like swipe through and see story features that when you tap on it, it goes to the website. It goes to the person's website. It's major publishers. And also I've seen bloggers. Like I have a Google, and I think it's connected to my collection. I have a Google collection of recipes that I use on the app. So Google has tied that in, and they included like recipes from food bloggers, because I didn't add that in. So there'll be a story from like Huffington Post or CNN or whatever in the carousel, and also there's like recipes put in there because Google says, well, Terry, you like recipes. I'm like, yeah. So it's a little section when you go to the Google app on your phone. It doesn't have to be Android, because you can have the Google app on the iPhone. I use it all the time when I want to search for stuff. And they're going to put videos from Instagram and TikTok in there. Isn't that cool? So they're putting and this is one of the other trends we talked about on Tuesday, Carolina. We talked about short form video. It's going to be everywhere. You're not going to be able to escape it, because these are little things that get your attention. The carousel, the stories, the little videos are all going to be in the middle of when you're scrolling. And I noticed on Instagram the other day that they are now putting reels in the middle of the feed.
Oh. Right. I saw that and I was like, I didn't ask for this, and stuff just,
nobody ever asked for any of this.
They don't care. They're going to do it anyway. There's been a lot of complaints about it, but it's Instagram owned by Facebook. Facebook is going to do what they want to do. So Google is getting into short form, and there'll probably be there's a tie-in. I was listening to a Clubhouse room, and they were talking about YouTube, and there's something called Shorts on YouTube, which is short form video. They were talking about how to get exposure with that. So I'm thinking that Google is going to show Instagram, TikTok, and Shorts from YouTube if you have a YouTube channel. So there's going to be a little section with short form video with Google in the app, not on the desktop, not yet, in the app.
But the app, okay.
The app on the phone, the app that says G.
Right. And they've already started doing that, because I noticed like when the Apple, I always get like news updates from Google or whatever every morning on the phone. But when I go into it, there are stories that are already there. So I'm like, wait, when did they start doing stories? Snapchat has missed an opportunity to
See, Google is sliding in the stories real quietly, because they had something called AMP, which was accelerated mobile pages, and they were pushing that about 2 or 3 years ago, but they stopped talking about AMP and they just made a stories feature. I was reading about it. I got to keep reading about it, but they're slowly putting social into that Google app. They're not announcing it like they did with Google Plus. Oh, we got a social media platform. No, Google is just quietly putting in social media features into the Google app, the main Google app. So like Taji said, when you search for stuff and you use that Google app, you're going to start seeing a lot of things in there. Stories, videos. They have collections, like it's a picture style feature that lets you pin things to a collection, like you can bookmark.
Pinterest, who said that?
So they're putting those things in slowly. Now, the one thing I want to talk about tied into that is Snapchat. Snapchat has something called, and Google and Snapchat are both doing something called the AR try-on. Now, what is that? They're doing an AR makeup try-on with beauty tech partners. So Google has announced that they have a new AR makeup tool, and it partners with Perfect Corp and L'Oreal. It allows users to access virtual try-on for specific beauty products in Google's mobile app. See, we were just talking about that. Google is
like many other Californians, that's a big problem with EDD.
They're building features into this app. So keep an eye on the Google app. If you don't have it, download it today.
Yeah, I just put it in and I'm like, dang,
Yeah,
it is.
it's my favorite app.
It's
Yeah,
chock
it
full
has,
of stuff.
stories and stuff. I'm literally,
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, where'd all this come from?
So now here's the Snapchat part. Snapchat has announced that they have a partnership with Perfect Corp, and they're going to allow brands to incorporate Perfect Corp makeup try on as a Snapchat lens and create a virtual storefront. Now, brands offering the AR try in on Google are L'Oreal, I mentioned them, Estee Lauder, and then it'll be independent labels like Black Opal, and expect to see other direct brands.
Black Opal.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
What?
Independent. See, this is a part. Remember now, this whole 2020, we had that whole diversity push, and we were doing Black on this and looking at different minority-owned businesses. They haven't dropped the ball. Google is quietly coming up from the back. They're not making a big splash of announcement there. We're giving this. They're just doing things, and you're just discovering it. So people are discovering it. So they want to make online shopping more convenient and fun. So this is a quote from Chief Digital Officer of L'Oreal. That's why they are partnering with Google, because they see the future is live stream shopping, online shopping, everything through mobile. So they want to get in on that and be at the forefront, because we're in the pandemic and we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if people are going to go to Sephora, the store, or go to makeup counter. We don't know. So they're getting in on it now and partnering with Google and Snapchat, which I think is two smart moves. And Google, that app, I'm telling you, if you don't have the Google app, get it. There's going to be a lot of stuff in there. Okay.
Because this is kind of like the news app on Apple.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Because I'm like, okay.
Right. So you want to search on Google on your phone, I pull up the Google app. If I want to look at my collections, if I want to look at stories, if I want to pin something, I do it all in that app. So the app before was just searching. Now it's a whole lot more.
Right.
So
and I've noticed the evolution of it, because obviously I have an Android phone, so that Google app is already there. So I've been using the Google app for years, and it was really just search. All right, let me see what time it closes while I'm out. And then one day, when I was looking at the news update, I was like, wait, is this the right app? I didn't realize. I was like, how did
put
YouTube
all that stuff in there?
I thought it was YouTube, because again, YouTube it mirrors that same type of look with. So I said, I didn't open YouTube. Well, this is Google, really? So they have to, but the market makes it as such that you must be more than just search.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So I've been using Google a lot. I have an iPhone, but I've been using it for years, like Tati said, and Google's my favorite thing to use for search, as a lot of people, maybe I would say 90% use Google to search. They use other search engines, but Google is starting to secretly, stealthily put little things in the app, and all of a sudden, you're going to be using it and going, what's that? What's this? What's that? And instead of announcing Google Plus, and what something else they had, Wave or Waze or something years ago, and getting ridiculed for it not working, and then dropping the ball on it. They're just like, okay, we're going to put everything in the Google app and see how it works. If it doesn't work, guess what? They can take it out of the app.
It's like, use what you have. I think everybody is so wanting to start. Oh, this is a new thing. This is a new thing. Use what you have. They already have the real estate, which is search, which is already, look, you already have everybody's eyes, because Google is the most used search engine. Just the second most used search engine, YouTube, because it's Google.
Right.
Yeah.
So you already have an audience. Go where you are already.
Yes. Yep. Stay in your wheelhouse. Build it up. Don't build up from the ground up, because it may not work. Facebook.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about Facebook. I want to say that is the end of the social media news wrap up for the week. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm telling you, this has been an interesting news day, and I think we did it well. We didn't go down rabbit holes and
Get distracted.
trees and stuff. But this was major history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Major history, people.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Yes, it is.
We are in. This is like the 1812 incident, and we're here to witness it. And everybody around the world witnessed it at the same time because of technology and social media.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's a key difference between-
Unfiltered.
the key difference between now and 1812.
Mm-hmm.
And the people in 1812 didn't bring a camera and a selfie stick.
There was no record of it.
There were no
Mark,
citizen
comment.
reporters. Mhm.
You see Mark's comment?
No, let me see.
The last one. I don't know if we talked about it.
Oh no, we did not.
Okay.
I'm here for it. I'm going to do a stakeout at Chick-fil-A and take pictures of all the gays sneaking through the drive.
We were talking about USA Today and the whole investigative of looking at the photos and,
Yeah.
and
Right.
shaming.
Mhm.
But Mark,
Right.
Mark makes it so fun
Funny.
to be on Fridays.
Mhm. And his reputation management. Do we look at that comment there?
Oh, I'm going reputation manager, ladies. I'm going to be forced to leave you and re-enter under a different name.
Too late.
We know where to find you, Mark.
Yes, we certainly
Yeah,
do.
Mark Ward.
We know where to find you.
Well,
It's been
certainly
been a
day.
really, it's been an interesting start to the year. We're in day 8,
Oh my gosh.
and I'm
Didn't
like,
Start like this, January 2020. We were like, yay, 2020. And then all of a sudden there was stuff going on with Iran and things were popping off. And we were like, whoa, wait a minute. So I think we kind of have a little repeat.
We are in a perpetual Groundhog Day, just different
Yeah.
events happening.
Mhm.
because and then it got into March, and whatever was happening in January last year, we forgot about it totally when March hit and everything shut down.
Right.
Then they've been talking COVID, all the way around to January 6th.
I think so.
And then all of a sudden COVID was no longer on the radar.
Nobody talked about COVID.
People were like, what did you not know? I'm like, what are you talking
Well,
about?
I was concerned that these people were unmasked.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But okay,
Because they've
that's
been
all of them
getting
together.
on planes, they're going to hotels.
Yes.
You know,
Okay, but so the situation, even on the plane, you're still there is no social distancing on the plane. Sorry, if you thought that there were, it's not. You need to get a private jet if you want social distancing.
These people can't afford a private jet.
No, I'm just saying.
They can't
Within the whole thing, there is no. They don't have it.
Right.
So you're wearing masks. You're doing everything. You got to do what you need to do, and
Yeah, I
maybe
get
you fly someplace. Stay home.
And then they're going home, is what Carolina said. They're going home and spreading it home.
Yeah, and they're coming from states that don't have a mandate for masks.
Right.
And you come into the hotel, now you want to argue with everybody that I don't have to, I got my rights. And there's like 200 of them, and they're talking about they got their rights and they're spitting.
Unless that hotel is a part of their shenanigans, I don't think they're going to a normal hotel. They're not going to be let in with that craziness.
Well, they were complaining. There's just all kind of stories coming out of this. Let's just not go down the rabbit trail. We got out alive.
We won't. We won't.
So Monday, we'd like you to meet us here for coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations. Ladies, thank you so much. You did a fabulous job today. And may this day go down in infamy. Okay, with that, we just want to say thank you for tuning in. We love you. And remember to go to the front of your own line. Put the oxygen on yourself, people. See you later.
Bye-bye.